Alright, it looks like it's working now. So, I was asked by someone to go live tonight just in case they weren't able to be here for the future date that I was actually planning on doing this video. So, figured I'd hang around just a little bit and answer some questions. You can find me on Facebook. I've got a Twitter account. I did forget to mention that I do have an Instagram account as well, if you'd like to ask me something there. I did receive a few questions from someone, and I'm going to wait just a little bit and see if anyone shows up. But in the meantime, I'm just going to sit here and ramble about who knows what until I see someone or see anybody. And while I'm waiting, I wanted to thank the Lord for giving me another year on earth to serve Him. I will be turning 26 tomorrow, June 19th, and I'm pretty excited to see what God has in store for me. I feel like He's leading me to go in several different directions. I'm not sure exactly what to do just yet, but I'm trusting God and trusting His plan. And so I thought I'd go ahead and start with the Q&A and see if anybody else pops in and sends me anything. But the first one that I received was, what did I last eat? And it's funny because I just finished eating like 5 minutes ago. And this was kind of a last minute thing, so I had to hurry up. But the last thing that I ate was a little bit of chicken, and I had some steamed vegetables. That was really good. And if I ever find out what kind of chicken that was, I will definitely let you guys know, because it was a really, really, really good recipe. And the next question that I got was, what's your favorite part about doing your makeup? And hi, Abigail. Hi. It's good to see you here. What's my favorite part about doing your makeup? And I do not know. But if I had to choose, it would probably be either foundation or highlight. Foundation, because it is extremely satisfying to watch all the imperfections disappear. And highlight is highlight. Who doesn't want a beautiful glow on their face? I love highlight. What's your favorite memory from aesthetics or cosmetology school? I have actually several different favorite memories. My fiance had traveled over here from England that year, and he came in. He wanted me to do a facial on him, so that was fun. And he let me do his eyebrows, which was very brave of him, because he has a very low tolerance for pain. So that was wonderful. And I remember we had a big Halloween party, and one of my classmates did my hair for me. And of course, the whole graduation thing, when I found out that I was actually graduating, that was just amazing. I mean, it's every person's dream to graduate from college, and no matter what your major is, it's just amazing. So those are a few memories that I really enjoyed. What's my favorite alcohol? I'm not much of a drinker, but if I occasionally, I mean, there is a very, 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 very rare chance that I will pick up any alcohol. But on the occasion that I do, I usually have a classic red wine or an actually quick lifestyle tip. If you have a sore throat, a little bit of red wine works wonders. But that's usually what I will drink. Um, if my fiance was here, what would you be doing? This time of night, we would either be sitting on the couch watching TV or hanging around at Walmart. Um, just regular old things. I can't really do a whole lot money wise because plane tickets are very expensive from England to the United States. So we usually try to find things we can do when or when he or when I don't have enough money. So if he was here right now, we'd probably go for movie on TV or something on Netflix. What is my favorite memory as a child? Oh, goodness. One of my favorite memories as a child, going to the zoo, my very first trip to the zoo. That was interesting. I remember uh, over the summers when I was little, when I wasn't in school, my grandmother would babysit me, my grandmother and my uncle. And I was so confused that morning. Mama caught me out of bed. She says, hurry up, get some music, grab a stuffed animal to take with you. And on and on. I'm like, are we late? I mean, you don't have to be at work until like so and so time. So I'm thinking to myself, okay. So while we're getting ready, I see my uncle's car pull up in the driveway. Normally, my mother took me to my grandmother's house. And I saw my uncle pull up in the driveway, and my grandmother is riding with him. I'm thinking, oh, okay, my grandmother had an appointment. So Mom was telling me, okay, take a couple things to take to the doctor's office. And about 30 minutes into the trip, I'm thinking, okay, the doctor's office shouldn't be 30 minutes away. And I'm figuring this out as a child. The doctor's office shouldn't be 30 minutes away. And we've been in this car an awful long time, and then we're driving past a sign, and it said zoo. I freaked. That was the best day, or one of the best days I'd ever had. So the zoo is definitely one of my top favorite memories as a child. And let's see, 7. And this is going into fandom territory. Like I'm big in the Tolkien fandom and the supernatural fandom. So this next question says, who do you ship the most? Like, if you are unfamiliar with fandom terminology, that means what kind, who in your fandoms do you really support their relationship, or what kind of relationship do you like? And they can be popular, they can be unpopular. In the Tolkien fandom, one of my favorites is Keely and Tauriel. Um, a lot of people get on me because Tario wasn't in the book, and well, she was in the movie, and I really like their relationship. I mean, that could, I feel like that could have worked out. It was supernatural. Um, I really like Castiel and Hannah. That's a very unpopular ship, as far as I know. Um, let's see. Um, a platonic ship, like just being friends. I definitely go for Charlie and Sam. They are definitely they definitely click as friends. Um, trying to think if there's any more. Um, not that I can think of, but those are some of my favorite ships. And the next question is, if you could change anything about your body, what would it be? And over the years, I've grown to really appreciate my body and not try to wish that I could change something. But if I if I had the opportunity to change something, I would probably say I could be a little more, not muscular, but uh, I would like to be thicker in some areas of my body, like my arms. My arms are very small. I'd like to see them a little more toned. Um, a toned body is what I'm trying to get at. I would like to have more of a toned body, something that looks a little healthier. You know, that's really it. And what is my most embarrassing memory? One of those memories just happened recently. I don't feel like I'm at liberty to discuss that, but if I were to choose something that wasn't quite that embarrassing, um, trying to think. Yeah, the, a lot of people, and I'm going to say this, a lot of people say that the rules in the church houses about what people wear, especially women, those rules are there for a purpose. And me, being in the middle of summer, I generally tend to go for light layers, and I wear things that keep me cool, but I still have to stay modest. So I keep a dressy sweater over it or something light, you know, just for modesty's sake. I mean, this is the house of God. And I remember a couple years ago stepping down from the stage at church, and I was wearing a strapless dress, and I was wearing a sweater over it. Thank goodness. Thank goodness, because I stepped on the bottom of my dress. And if it were not for that sweater, I would have never shown my face in that church ever again, because I mean, thank goodness for the person who invented sweaters. And that, folks, is why those rules are in place, why those regulations are put in place, for one reason, to keep you from embarrassment, because that that was really embarrassing. What's the saddest thing that I have ever experienced? 2015 was a pretty rough year for all of us, not just in my personal circle, but for everyone that I know, 2015 wasn't a very friendly year. But December of that year, we lost a very, very good friend who was the daughter of our pastor. She passed suddenly, and that was a pretty heart-wrenching moment for all of us. It still doesn't seem real to this day, but we've all come to terms with it and realized, hey, she's in a better place. And as far as I know, she was real supportive of what I was doing with this blog, or with my blog, and with what I was doing on YouTube. And I grew up with her children. So that was a pretty rough thing to experience. And it looks like that's all the questions that I've gotten. Let's check on Facebook and see if anybody's sent us anything. Nope. Not yet. I'll hang around just a little bit longer. Text some of my friends here. Okay. And we'll see where that takes us. One of the biggest, I'm just going to come up with some questions off the top of my head that I've received in the past. But one of the most frequently asked questions, and everyone gets this, what's my favorite color? And if you see my wardrobe, it would be pretty obvious. It's black. I love black. It goes with everything. I've been getting into more of the darker colors like purples, hot pinks. I love hot pinks. And if we were to look at it from a different perspective, what would be my favorite color to wear? Like if I were doing my makeup, I would probably say a red lip, a classic red lip. That just puts everything together and it makes you feel good. And just received a text from my dad saying that Venus is still visible. I'm very much into astronomy and looking at what the Lord has created. Let's see, I'm trying to think, and since I don't have any questions coming in just yet, I've had people ask me what my favorite color is. Let's see. And for those of you watching, I received a bunch of questions earlier. I've already answered those within the past 20 minutes. So if you would like to, you can send me something in the chat on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram. My Instagram is open. Actually, I've had people ask me what my favorite Bible verses are. Like Psalms 23, Romans 8:28. There's that one verse in Acts, the book of Acts, that Hi Kiki, and it's quite all right. And thank you for the subscription. And there's that verse in the book of Acts that I can't remember the reference. I can't remember the reference, but I do know it's in chapter 1. where it talks about why stand ye gazing for the same Jesus that you saw go up in heaven, he'll come back again. I love that verse. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful promise. And I love the verses in Revelation where it talks about Christ coming back as a full-on warrior. Even so, come Lord Jesus. I love that. That gives me chills because I know he's going to come back. My favorite songs in the gospel and Christian category, I would say Our Father by Hillsong, anything by the Young and Free generation that Hillsong came out with, and something that's not in the Christian category, I would probably have to say The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. I first heard that song on Supernatural, on one of the Supernatural episodes, and I thought that was just the cutest song, and it fit so perfectly with what was going on. It was pathetic, but I love that song. Another one is Amazing by Loudon Swain, and if you are not a Supernatural fan, you may not have heard of them. They're the house band that travels with them when they do conventions. And that is one of my favorite songs by them. Some of my favorite artists, again, Hillsong. I like Carrie Job, Casting Crowns, a big one, Mercy Me, again, Loudon Swain. I like some of the singles that Supernatural cast comes out with. Yes, they are singers. It must be a rule for anybody to want to be a Supernatural cast member to know how to sing or play an instrument, because all of them are incredibly talented in one way or another. But anything that they put out or anything that they release, I'm still finding more brand new things that they're coming out with. I've also been asked, are you a morning person? Are you a night person? I am a night owl. I won't lie, but I've gotten used to trying to be a morning person because things have changed in the past 2 to 3 years where I have to be a morning person. And somebody over here, hey Elena, my favorite character from Supernatural. Oh, you had to go there. Oh goodness. In no particular order, definitely Steele. I would have to say Sam Winchester. Chuck. I love Chuck. Amara. Amara is one of my favorite villains. Like Crowley. Can I just say all of them? But if I absolutely had to choose one character, absolutely one, would be Cass. Because I relate with him so well. I mess things up unintentionally. And sometimes he does too. And when he does that, I just want to reach through the screen and tell him it's okay. It can be fixed most of the time. But yes, my favorite character from Supernatural would have to be Castiel. And along the same lines as fandom, my favorite character from The Hobbit is Keeley. Anybody that knows me knows that I am head over heels for Keeley and anybody that Aidan Turner plays. And quick fun fact, I share the same birthday as Aidan Turner. And let's see, Lord of the Rings. One of my favorite characters from Lord of the Rings is probably Frodo. Either Frodo or Aragorn. I really like those two characters. Elijah Wood and Figo did an excellent job. A close third would have to be Legolas. I really liked his character as well. What other questions have I been asked? And if you're still watching, feel free to send in anything. Again, I've got Facebook open, I've got Twitter open, Instagram. I'm checking here to see if I got anything. So, actually, yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I received a question about who my least favorite character is to write. And that is a tough one because I enjoy writing all of them. But if I had to choose, it would have to be any of the minor characters that don't really, for lack of better terms, don't really have a story, so to speak. Like, say, if I were going to write something, let's see. If I were to write something about Samwise Gamgee, he is very difficult to write because I don't know much about his backstory. I don't know anything about him. So I kind of go by his personality and what happened in the movies, as opposed to somebody like Legolas. I mean, I could write an entire novel about him. Elena S. on the chat, what's my favorite drink? Pepsi. I like Pepsi. When I don't have that, I normally go for water, sweet tea, or any of my herbal teas like peppermint. I like that. Have I been reading or watching anything new? As far as watching things, I'm waiting on the new season of Poldark to come out in September. I'm looking forward to that. I'm currently waiting very impatiently for the next season of Stranger Things to come out. I've also been watching The Crown. The only thing new or new-ish that I've been reading is a bunch of stories that I've found online. I haven't really felt like picking up a physical book lately, but I'm sure I will very soon. But yeah, as far as watching anything new, again, the only thing new-ish is The Crown, and waiting on the new seasons of my favorites to come out. And speaking of new seasons, I would like to congratulate the cast and the creators of Supernatural on going on their 14th season. That's a lot of hard work. I commend them for putting up with the crazy fangirls that long. But yeah, just was an awkward silence. Send me stuff, guys. I'm checking. If you see me looking down like this, I'm checking my apps and my phones for any new stuff. Also, to Elena and anybody else that sends in anything through the chat, sometimes there can be a lag. So if it seems like I'm not seeing your questions right off bat, I am. But sometimes there's a lag between when you send that and when I'm actually answering the questions, because usually I see it right off the bat. But sometimes there's a lag there that I don't really have control over. But yes, I am seeing your questions. And another thing that I have been asked a lot is, who is my favorite character, right? In the Tolkien fandom, of course, I like to write for Keeley. I like to write for Feely, Legolas, and Thranduil. I like to write for all the major ones that I know about. Same thing goes for Supernatural, but with Supernatural, I try to stick with Team Free Will. But on the occasion that I do get the request for something like that, that's not a part of the main cast or main characters, I do try to step out. But sometimes it doesn't work. Let's see. I have a Bing. And this is going to be live, raw, unedited. If you hear noises, any distractions, this is real life. I'm just replying to some people on Facebook. And I know I repeat myself a lot, but if you want to send me anything, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, right here in the comments. And I normally repeat myself for any new visitors that are coming that don't know. What else have I been asked? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of things that I have been asked before, just to kind of keep this thing going. And I probably won't be on much longer. But we'll see where this takes us. Actually, I'm shocked it's lasted this long. If you see me looking down, I'm just checking my apps for any new questions. And again, I've Instagram open, I've got my Twitter open, I've got the chat here open, Facebook if you would like to send anything in. Probably won't be on much longer, so send in questions while it's hot, and I will get to you as quickly as I can, as I'm trying to think of other things that I have been asked before, just to kind of keep this thing going. And I have received a question. If I didn't have to sleep, what would I do with the extra time? Oh, that's a good one. I would probably work on my writing a little bit more. Netflix, of course. And who doesn't want Netflix? Uh, Stay on Skype with my fiance. Um, Go out and travel or ride around town. I've always loved to uh, ride around town in the middle of the night. Trying to think of something productive that I would want to do. Like I said, I would probably write, and do a little bit more studying and research for my blog, um, come up with new ideas, and hang around on social media. Well, it's going on 10 o'clock, about 10 till, and this has lasted. Oh, I got another one. Oh my goodness, I was about to shut off. What fictional place would I most like to go to? Only two places: Erebor or the bunker on Supernatural. There's the two top places. But if I had to get rid of Erebor, it would have to be Rivendell, because that's a beautiful place and movie adaptation. But I do like Erebor, though. It's pretty fascinating. I'll wait just a little bit longer for anything else. What job would I be terrible at? All of them. Waitressing, cash register. I think the actual term is called cashier, but I would be horrible at running a cash register. Um, Trying to think of another job that I would be terrible at. If the products were too heavy, I would probably say stock. I probably would not be able to do stock in the back of the store. I would have to have help. um, but on the flip side, what's a job that I would be good at? And in case you're wondering, yes, I'm making up stuff as I go. What was something that I would be good at? Obviously, doing facials, doing makeup. I feel like I'd be a decent receptionist. I would like to do that one day. I do work from home part-time-ish, going on full-time as a freelance writer. I do a lot of freelancing, so I'm pretty good. Pretty good at writing. I'm sorry, it's getting late. Ooh, I have another one. They just keep rolling in. What would be the most amazing adventure to go on? Well, you probably know what I'm about to say. It's the adventure with the dwarves, but non-fandom related. The most amazing adventure to go on for me, probably go cross country, like a cross country road trip. Go from the easternmost point of North Carolina and travel all the way to the westernmost point of California. Do that with me and I will love you forever. I would love that more than anything in the world. Just a big cross-country road trip. Just make sure we don't run into any tornadoes or fires or earthquakes. What state or country would I love to go to? Goodness. I've been to South Carolina twice. I would love to go to Vermont to see their Arrowhead. What is it? The Arrowhead Mountain Lake. I would love to go there. Arkansas. I would like to go to that really big park. Can't remember the name of it right off bat, but there's a really famous park down there. And what country would I like to go to? England, Scotland, Ireland, New Zealand. I always wanted to go there. And actually, surprisingly enough, one day I would love to go to Russia. I would love to go to Russia. Israel. That's on my bucket list, is to go to Israel and see the Holy Land. That would be an interesting little blog post to do, is if I ever go to Israel, I can talk about my experiences there. Most definitely Canada. I would love to go to Canada. I wonder why. Actually, you were asking what state I would like to go to. I would like to go to Texas. If my viewers are not aware, Jensen Ackles from Supernatural, he's one of the main actors. He has his own brewery. Like he does the full on coming up with different drinks and stuff for his place, and I would love to go down there and visit, and just see if I can catch him down there and get a picture one day. But seriously, it looks gorgeous down there. I would love to visit. There's a lot of state parks in Texas that are really pretty too. What songs have I completely memorized? Oh, well, going back to the Christian and gospel category, if you were to flip through a hymn book or a list of Christian songs from contemporary artists, there's a chance that I have memorized those songs. I've almost got Carry On My Wayward Son down pat, but not quite. There's one by Loudon Swain that I would love to memorize. Amazing. I had mentioned that earlier. I would love to memorize Amazing. This is an interesting one. What would be your first question after waking up from being cryogenically frozen for 100 years? Where am I? That would probably be my first question, is where am I? Because I'm probably going to be dumped somewhere underground, under a secret mountain of some sort, or a secret cave under a mountain. But that's just my creative instincts coming in. Either that or where's the food? I'm hungry. But typical Baptist, we're always hungry. And this is going to be the last question, and then I'm going to log off. What are some small things that make your day better? And there's actually quite a few. And to top one off, an episode of Supernatural on Netflix. Just the reruns on TNT every day. I enjoyed that. Being able to write my blog posts, that's one thing that makes my day better, and being productive. Yeah, that's about it. Well, thank you guys so much for sending your questions. Hopefully I'll be able to do one again. Sorry. Hopefully I'll be due. Wow. I need to do one of these during the daytime when I'm not tired. But anyways, I need to get this together. But anyways, I will see you guys later, and hopefully I'll be able to do this again in the future. And if I do, I will definitely let you know beforehand. Hopefully not at the last minute. But I am thankful to have people who acknowledge that I'm putting myself out there for you guys. I will see you guys later, and thank you for joining me. Bye.